Grab your new ball of yarn and find the end that's tucked into the side of the yarn ball. Measure out about 8 to 12 inches of yarn from the new ball. We are going to tie a knot with the new and old working yarn right by the needle. Bring the ends of both pieces of working yarn together and then tie a knot as close as you can to the needle. You don't have to tie it too tightly because we're going to undo the knot at the end of your project and weave in the ends. Now, you will knit like normal, but use your new working yarn and keep the two pieces of yarn coming from the knot you just tied off to the side out of the way. If you're adding a ball of yarn at the beginning of the row and you're slipping the first stitch of each row purlwise to create that edging, you'll add it the exact same way. So you'll bring the end of your current piece of working yarn together with the end of your new ball of working yarn. So you'll bring them together and then you'll tie a knot with them as close to the needle as possible, right there. So I'm tying a knot just like I did in the last example. And then with the other needle in my right hand, I'm going to insert it down into the top stitch on the left needle. And I'll make sure that my new working yarn is in front of the right needle. So I'll slip this stitch off the left needle, so now it's on the right needle, and I'll bring my new working yarn between the two needles so that it's behind the right needle. Then I'll continue knitting across the row. Flip your work over to the other side. You will tie a knot with the new and old working yarn right by the needle. Grab your new ball of yarn and find the end that's tucked along the side of the yarn ball. Measure out about 8 to 12 inches of yarn from the new ball. Bring the ends of the new and old working yarn together. And tie a knot with the two pieces of working yarn as close to the needle as possible. Don't tie the knot too tightly, as we're going to undo it at the end of the project to weave in your ends. Continue knitting using your new working yarn. Make sure to keep the two pieces of yarn coming from the knot you just tied off to the side and out of the way. Grab your new ball of working yarn and find the end that's tucked on the side of the yarn ball. Measure out 8 to 12 inches of yarn. Flip your project so you can see the inside, which is considered the wrong side of the fabric. And bring the ends of your new and old working yarn together. Tie a knot with these two pieces of yarn as close to the needle as possible on the wrong side of the fabric. Don't tie your knot too tightly because we're going to undo it at the end of the project to weave in your ends. Continue knitting with the new working yarn and leave the knot out of the way.